Hi guys, welcome back to Humber Koi. A few different bits and bobs to do today. Absolutely shattered after being at Gaz's house yesterday and digging the pond out. Yeah, it's not in my forte, spade. Daz is an absolute machine, but we'll crack on with our pond. So what we've got to do today is boil a few fish up. It's utsuri week on the appreciation, so we'll boil a couple of them up. And then we're going to head over to my dad's house and we're going to shutter off his bottom drain, cement that in, and then dig a sump out to so he can pump the water out of his filter house. I think after that, the next step is the first course of bricks, so we can then taper the edges in, and then we're starting to the build of the block work. So getting pretty close to actually being able to fully start my dad's build now. We'll take you with us as we go along. Right guys, that's the pond net off and we've got our 2 nets ready to catch the fish. The bowl's filled with water, so let's have a go. We'll see how long this takes us. The koi widow of it. Taking pictures. The wave, Nick. So, share our week. I'm just about to give this a measure. We got this as a very small fish from George from Wakefield Koi, and it's doing really well, to be fair. Well guys, I was really surprised with how quickly we netted that out. That fish we've tried to have out before, and he's very fast, doesn't like to be caught. He will do everything in his power not to be where the net's going. But it came out pretty quick and I'm really happy. He's up to 28 cm now, and I think we bought him at like 15 maybe in spring. So he's not done bad and he's looking really good. So we've got one more to get out and have a look at, so we'll flip back to you when he's out. And just like that, the second one's out. I tell you, the first time I tried to get a koi out the pond for one of Gaz's live, it must have took me 2 hours, and we've just done 2 koi near enough straight away. So they're either getting better, getting better, or we're getting better. So let's flip you around and show you. I'm going to give him a quick measure and take a couple of videos and pictures for Gaz's live. But this is my favourite koi in the pond. He's such a character. Here so is measures in at 45 cm. What I'm going to do is, while I explain a few more things, I'm going to update koi control and I'm going to pop it over on the over here so you can see the growth in which they've had since we put them in the pond. But one of the other things that is really important to say as well is I've measured these on the edge of my pond, and I'll never leave a fish in a bowl alone. I left the wife there, and just as I got back, the heat utsuri decided to jump, and luckily she managed to steer him so he landed into water. So that was crisis averted, but he is my favourite fish in the pond by a long stretch. He's the first one to come up. He's friendlier than the chag. If I go sit on the edge of the pond, he's the first one to come and see what's getting on. I know what he's after, but it's still nice to have a koi that comes up like that. So we've got some really good growth on both of these. It's one of the biggest fish in the pond, so it always looks big compared to the rest. But the Jinrin Shiro, which I believe it is, correct me if I'm wrong, that went in a small koi. when we picked that up. So I think that was in, I'm pretty certain it was in the teens, maybe 18, and it looks a lot bigger than that now. So I've got these koi in April, and it's an unheated pond, and obviously everyone knows what type of summer we've had. It hasn't been great, so to get 10 centimetres on one and 9 centimetres on the other, I'm really happy with the results we've had this year. They've been mainly fed on Takazumi mix, so credit to that. They're both flying up there. So over to my dad's. So as some of you might remember on the last video, the filter house was going at this end, but they've decided that it will be better at the other end because they're going to carry on with these trees around here so you can't see it. And with them having the summer house here, they're going to have a paving area here, so it'll be a lot better to see the window from this side. So my dad shifted the filter house to this end and cemented his bottom drain in. He's cemented a partition wall in, ready for the base. So what's left to do now is dig a bit more of this soil out in places and then get some limestone in and whacker it down so we're ready for a good solid base. But in the meantime, I'm going to take some of his old pavers and start running them down here and getting them fairly level as we're creating a massive mud bath going along there. Already I've been in here 5 minutes to state the shoes. So it's getting closer to winter now, and it's only going to get worse and worse. We need to be able to work on this without absolutely destroying the garden, so we're going to get these pavers down. My dad's popped to the garden centre because his drainage pipe has just split on his old filter, so he can't drain it without it going everywhere. So he's off to do that, and I'm going to sort the pavers out for now, and then we're going to start on the base. Whew, that took some work. Some of them pavers are 1.5 inch thick concrete. They're absolutely massive. Dad's just turned up now with the pipe, so we'll be able to mend his current filter. Show you what we've done. So they've got a nice path now. It stops dragging all mud from one end of the garden to the other when they're going to their allotment, feeding the fish, etc. So this gives them a bit of prep for winter. And it also means when we're barrowing stuff, it's not going to create an absolute mess. So I think the next thing to do now is we need to take some mud out of this back corner here, get that out, and then it's order some Mott 1, the limestone hardcore, so we can whacker it in. So I'm back home. His pipe was fixed, so he can now drain his multi-bay down again without it going everywhere. And we've ordered 3 tonne of the limestone hardcore, and also we've ordered an inspection chamber, so he can drop his water into that and then have a pump in there to pump it out, being the filter house will be lower than ground level, so any wastewater from his filter will have to be pumped out. And I thought an inspection chamber with a nice manhole cover will be easier to get that in and get it out. So we'll fit that in the next video. But what we're going to do is dig it into the ground, pour cement in the bottom, and then drop a pump into there. I have got one in my garden. Used to have a drainage problem in my garden. It was terrible for flooding. And we put a French drain all the way along the gravel path to an inspection chamber there with a sump pump in it. Never had a problem since then, so I think we're gonna run with that at my dad's house. Hopefully on the weekend I will be able to start my filter house roof that is well on the cards for me. And then after that, my dad should have all his materials arrived, so we can crack on at my dad's house. Once the base is done, we should be laying blocks, and we should be able to move a lot faster then and get the stuff where we want it. So thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a bit of a mishmash of an episode. My pond the first day, my dad's then back here, but really appreciate you watching, and we'll see you all on the next one.